Today, I'll share the 3 simple steps senior professionals take to graduate from the corporate cage to entrepreneurial freedom online in just 12 weeks, even if you've never run a business and you've got a family and lifestyle to protect. This isn't about side hustles, it's about complete transformation. And if you're skeptical about graduating in just 12 weeks, I get it. Stick with me, I'll show you how. Let's begin. I'm speaking to family breadwinners who feel capped and trapped by corporate life. You might be successful on the outside, but falling apart inside. Maybe you've dabbled in entrepreneurship, some side hustles, but very little progress so far despite your dreams. And you know that clock is ticking on your family, your health, and your potential. And even if you're out of corporate at this moment, maybe you took a severance or you were laid off, if corporate is all you know, keep listening. This is for you. Yes, corporate has been good to you. It created a life foundation. But does this feel like you? You're tired of building someone else's dream. You just feel like a provider for your family, nothing more. Stuck on a hamster wheel, sprinting every day. Any side hustles you've tried are boring and they take way too long. You're terrified you could lose it all in a moment's notice. And your family deserves so much more than this hollow shell that you've become. And while you might be great at your work, you feel empty inside. And the tension in your marriage is building up. And you don't want your kids to end up just like you. Now, why listen to me, Matt Doan? I'm the founder of a program called Uncaged Life Design. Over the years, we've helped over 135 clients go from the corporate cage and graduate into a state of entrepreneurial freedom, which I'll share in a second. All of these people have families and big lifestyles to protect, so we have to make smart transitions. I spent 15 years in the demanding field of management consulting, going around the world, and I was a workaholic. In doing so, stuck in provider mode, I lost everything: my marriage, primary access to my lovely 3 kids, and my health, mentally and physically. I had to learn to rebuild my relationship with corporate and eventually graduate to a state where I now have my own business. Now, that's corporate graduation, a way that we've done this for clients again and again, and I'll share with you exactly today on how we do that for you. At any given moment, dozens of senior professionals just like you are going through the Uncaged Life Design transformation. You can check out some of their stories at matthewdoan.com/success. Lots of transformation professionally and personally is happening in a very fast fashion for all of these people. And if you'd like to see some of the Trustpilot reviews, head on over to that same link to see what they're saying about what their experience was and how their careers and lives changed. Now, back to you. Today, we are answering the most important question in your work life. And that is, what do you do when you are done with corporate life, but you've got a family and lifestyle to protect? Here's what I know you want. It's a state of entrepreneurial freedom. That means ditching the corporate identity and lifestyle, everything that comes with it. Doing work that activates you, makes you feel energized. Building real financial and time freedom rather than just dreaming about it. And making your family proud, being a leader, being a role model for them. This is that state where you want to feel in control, no longer dependent on an employer for everything in your life. And you want to do all of this smartly but decisively. Here's a hidden truth. You've got this void in your heart regarding your work. You're good at it, but you can't stand it anymore. You are ready to move on. And until you fill this void where you are doing meaningful work, not just making great money, but doing work that sets your heart on fire, you're going to feel down, depressed, low, and everyone in your life feels that. Your spouse, your kids, your family, your friends, everyone around you, your colleagues. You can't have this. It is the source of your discontent, the source of your unhappiness, and therefore any success you want in your life. We need to solve for this. So it's time for intelligent action. Now, let's start with what doesn't work. Number 1, cash injections. This might look like investing in real estate, jump-starting a local franchise like a gym, or buying a boring business like a car wash or a laundromat. The problem with all 3 of these things is that they only solve for money and they take way too long, and there's no fire. It's a pure logical play and it won't get you anywhere anytime soon. The second thing that doesn't work is pure inner work. That means therapy, which has its place, but it doesn't work here. Or self-development with all the books and podcasts where you're consuming lots of valuable information, or even a sabbatical from work where you take a break. The problem with all 3 of these things is that there is no future building. Now, the third piece that does not work is self-employment. This is usually where we take our current job and our skills and we replicate that under our own name. I call this corporate replication. In this state, you're moving from You used to be an employee trading time for money, but now you're moving into self-employment, also trading time for money, but without the safety nets, without the resources of a large company. And if you're not working, you're in trouble. Your business is in trouble, your income, your lifestyle. And as we see on this quadrant from Rich Dad, Poor Dad, we want to move to the right side, which we'll unpack in a second, around being a business owner where you have upside, equity, you can capture your true value. You're not tied to some crazy time for money game where you're exhausted by hourly stuff. Also getting into an investor status, but that's a conversation for another time. We want to move from left to right. Do not get trapped in corporate replication. The reason this fails for you is that the work is empty. There's a reason you don't feel good about your job anymore. It doesn't excite you. You're ready to move on. And if you just replicate it under your own name, under your own business, it's just another job, which, my friend, just means just over broke. Now that we've covered what doesn't work, let's talk about exactly why you remain stuck at this moment. It's because you are done with corporate life and you must move on. There's fear and resistance holding you back, but this is your reality inside and it is tearing you apart the longer you let it take place. So what will fix this problem where you are stuck and need to move on beyond corporate life? It's this: corporate graduation. When we think about the phases of corporate graduation, it looks like this. So say you've been in the corporate phase for 15, 20, 30 years even. It's done you well. It's created a life foundation, skills, relationships, all that jazz. Now you're entering a graduation phase at this moment, which we'll unpack in a second. And on the other side of the graduation phase is entrepreneurial freedom, that state of control, autonomy, freedom, upside for your skills, having fun, doing work you love, being around people you give a damn about. These are the things we want to move towards in the corporate graduation journey. Now, graduating in 12 weeks, you're like, what the hell, Matt? How is that even possible? Let's address that. There are two elements of graduation. First, there is an internal graduation where you emotionally and mentally detach from your job, where it no longer controls you and keeps you stirring at 3 a.m. It no longer has you working all nights and weekends, leaving your family, neglecting them. No, you actually put it in a box and you learn to control it so it no longer controls you. Imagine how good that would feel to keep the paycheck coming, the job on autopilot, while you feel at peace. You've got space in your life. And from there, after you've internally graduated, again, it's in your head and in your heart first, then you move to the second piece, which is the external graduation, where you make the tangible moves in the outer world, a new vehicle, a new path beyond corporate, where you learn to make money in a way that lights you up, that uses your natural talents, and it lays a beautiful future for you and your family, a whole new way of living and earning and being. We move from internal graduation to external graduation, and I'll show you exactly how that takes place over 12 weeks. There are 3 steps to the corporate graduation system. Number 1, you have to maximize space in your life, time, energy, and mental capacity so that you have room to move to a next chapter. Secondly, activate your future self so that a new version of you is in control, making bold and assertive decisions that unlock this new life for yourself. And thirdly, we launch your genius business, where we package your natural genius into an online business to help people you care about in this world, and you do it in a premium way that's good for your income, your future, and the people you are serving. Let's break these down. Number 1, maximize space. This means reclaiming time, energy, and mental capacity, effectively putting corporate on autopilot if you're in a job right now, where it runs in the background, you're not stressed out by it, but the paycheck is flowing. You've effectively turned your employer into your investor. And we start to install CEO behaviors of how to manage your time and energy as an entrepreneur, something no one has ever taught you before, but is vital. Second piece, activate your future self, where you've created an energizing life design so you know professionally and personally where are you and your family going? Crystal clear, exciting, abundant, all of that. Then we wipe clean your corporate identity because that conditioning, that way of thinking and acting is no longer going to serve you as a budding entrepreneur. And then we install a new belief system with new mental wiring where that version of you that's in control, empowered, bold is the one calling the shots right here, right now. We do not delay this. We need that person in control right now. Otherwise, entrepreneurship will not take place. And finally, we launch your genius business, where we surface your unique genius. Everything you've ever overcome in your life serves as part of your genius. Others will benefit from it. You just need to ask yourself who in this world can benefit, whether that's individuals or organizations. Then you package it into an online transformational offer, and you're able to service a portfolio of clients all at once at a premium, with leverage, with scale, so that you get to be you and create an amazing business you love and serve people you care about in this world. It's that simple. Let's walk through some client examples. Now, I do have to anonymize these particular clients because they still have corporate jobs. And if their employer saw this, they might get a little bit upset. So, first client, James, has spent 25 plus years in tech as a senior executive of business development. Today, we've been able to configure his corporate job in a way where he's working half the time as everybody else. They're all running around stressed and anxious, and he's got his life back. He learned to design the job where he has lots of space in his life. All the while, he's putting his best professional energy to building a business where he does tech matchmaking, taking small companies, bringing them together through his networking abilities and bringing them to bigger companies so that powerful results take place. All the while, he has an amazing relationship with his wife and 2 kids, and he's healthier than ever. Next is William. He spent 30 plus years in corporate risk management. It got to the point where things boiled over and he had to take a leave of absence because it got to be too much. Now, upon going back into corporate, we reconfigured his job so that now he's in control. He feels emotionally empowered and he's taken 40% off his typical days that he's been doing there. All the while, he started a business which is very personal and meaningful to him, which is helping the parents of neurodiverse children learn how to care better for themselves so that they in turn can really be there for their children. William has created a situation between life, work, entrepreneurship, where he's got a lot of space, emotional peace, and he feels purposeful helping people he cares about in this world. Back to you. What are the outcomes possible within 12 weeks? Remember, we are ramping down corporate life smartly, methodically, managing risk, and ramping up an entrepreneurial path which excites you. So in effect, risks are truly minimized. On average, my clients are reclaiming between 20 and 40% time and energy. Amazing results. Imagine what that could be for your life alone. Corporate has become a tool. You've put it on autopilot. The paycheck is still flowing. You're energized and present at home. You're that leader that you know you're capable of being. And then you're also creating amazing momentum with this unique online business, transforming people's lives, real traction, momentum, a roadmap into the future for accelerating massive levels of success. You've effectively graduated. Remember, we are first internally graduating and then externally graduating. This is the whole process. This is what's possible. In 12 weeks, all of this. Imagine what it could do for your life. Now, you have a choice. You know the path you're on. If you continue down that path, maybe that looks like climbing the ladder, a bit more incremental salary year over year, more strain, more pressure, more internal chaos. Again, your family life is suffering, your health is suffering. It hurts. Let's be very honest. You know where this goes. Look up at your bosses. Do you want that life? Or will you draw a line in the sand? Because the other option is available to you too. Living that uncaged life where you graduate corporate life smartly, methodically, but decisively, where you're taking control of your job now, reclaiming your precious time and energy, feeling alive and excited again, being there for your family, building a business that you're meant to do in this world that you love, that creates amazing outcomes. It rewards you and everyone that you come in contact with, and it inspires everyone in your world. It's path A, well known. Look around you. You know what that looks like. Path B, the uncaged life. Which one do you want, caged or uncaged? You can understand where both roads go. I will tell you, the second one, uncaged, it is certainly hard, but it is simple. Hard, but simple. There's no other way around it. So here's what I've got for you. My team and I have set aside time in the next few days to connect with you personally about applying these ideas to graduate corporate life and start to feel uncaged, to build this new chapter that you've been longing for so long, drawing a line in the sand. So I encourage you to book the chat. It's called a dream scan. It is a simple, impactful 20-minute diagnostic chat, the first step in our process, because we want to see truthfully what's going on in your world, what you want, clarify those needs. And if it feels like we can help you, we'll talk about the next step in the process, send you the details of how we help people, and the next step to keep going. This isn't an immediate decision. We need you to feel hell yeah, just like we need to feel hell yeah on our side so that we can help you and both sides are ready to go. So if you're ready to book that dream scan, click the link around this video and get right to it. Now, here's my promise to you. This chat, this dream scan will clarify exactly how you can graduate corporate life forever. It will give you insights and clarity that you've been longing for forever and struggling, sitting on the starting line. This is what you will do in this conversation together. Now, let me clarify who this is for. This is for people who are done with corporate life, ready to move on. Senior pros who have untapped talent that are just inside of you, ready to be unleashed to break free. And you're motivated to really be there for loved ones, to show them what it's like to have a self-directed life and to live authentically. And you're committed to both inner and outer transformation. It is both. There are no half measures. We rework the mind, the heart, and your external reality all at once. It's the only way to build this uncaged life. And if you're at a crossroads, you need to be, because you realize that change is no longer optional. This is who it's for. We are not talking to dabblers, people who want to invest in real estate, that want the slow passive income thing, or who don't have a burning desire to change. Please, we can close the video now and stop the conversation. It's only for people who fit these exact criteria. So your dreams are at stake. Be real and honest with yourself. Look in the mirror. Are you really willing to continue this caged life? Or is it time to graduate, to pick that uncaged path, to build a new future for you and your family? It's been boiling inside for all these years. Will you let it fester, or will you do something about it? If you're ready, click the link around this video, book that dream scan, and we can't wait to see you on the inside.